What's up, YouTube? Actually, it's good morning, YouTube. Welcome to a special early UFC Saturday morning edition of What the Hell Am I Doing? And today, we're doing another wanker episode. I'm doing my final hot sauce tasting from the 2020 season. I just finished harvesting all my peppers that were left outside. It's going to start getting really cold. There are no more warm days coming in the next 2 weeks. So it's time to take in what's left out there. I'm fortunate. I'd say about 80% of them are either orange or red already, so we're good. Not too many green ones. I think it was a good season. I got hundreds and hundreds of peppers. I made 3 different hot sauces. I've cooked a lot of them already. I've frozen a lot. It was a great year. So I hope you guys followed my episodes where I showed my garden and the progress along the way. And if you have any grow questions or anything, you can ask me. If you know more, you can always tell me. Anyway, so don't forget, when we get to 300 subscribers, I think we're going to have to do a draw. I'm going to do some giveaways of some of the seeds I have to help you guys start your grows. So today's episode, we will taste my final sauce. It's Champ sauce. This one here is, it was inspired from a spaghetti I made a few weeks ago, where I tried the Viper crossed with purple blue pepper. We're going to just call that the Viper X. And Leviathan and chocolate Moruga scorpions. And I hadn't tried that combination in a spaghetti or anything before. And it was quite different than what I'm used to, because usually I use Ghost or something with the Leviathan and a Reaper or something like that. And that combination, it was hot, but it had a different taste. And it was a good taste. So it made me want to do a sauce while I still had fresh ones. And that's what I did. So in this sauce, I have 6 Viper X crossed with purple boots. I have 2 Leviathans, the actual true Leviathan, and I have 2 chocolate Moruga scorpions in here. So this isn't going to be the hottest sauce, but it's going to be, I think, the tastiest sauce. And of course, the base again is going to be a garlic-based sauce, garlic-based tomato sauce. So it's the same ingredients, the same way I made it as the other 2 sauces, but I just changed the peppers. And if you're curious how I made it, there are videos that I posted earlier of the other 2 sauces that showed, what went into them. Before we get into that, though, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, comment, tell me what you made with your peppers. And we got to talk about UFC 254, which is happening in a couple hours. Big fight, probably the biggest fight of the year for the UFC. Khabib versus Gaethje. It's going to be a good one. Khabib Nurmagomedov. See, I can almost say Nurmagomedov, yeah. It's a tough name to say. So he's been the champ now for a couple of fights. He's been unbeaten in 28. He's one of the greatest at lightweight. And, he looks unstoppable. Gaethje may be the guy that could beat him, but I don't know. He's very offensive. He likes to brawl and stand and, get into these firefights. And I have seen Gaethje lose fights that were like that. There were firefights. I think his first fight in the UFC was a firefight, but he lost. But it was like a fan favorite kind of firefight. So even though he lost, it was a great fight, and, he gained momentum. But the guy has been beaten already, so he's got that knock against him. One thing that concerns me about Khabib is that his father died only a couple of months ago. His father was his trainer from the very beginning when he started training wrestling as just a little kid, when he was wrestling bears and crap like that. Totally insane, by the way. But his dad's always been there. He's always been a part of it. He's been part of the camp, the training. He's in the corner. So that's a big loss. And I'm a little bit concerned about that, because even though Khabib's a professional and he's been there a million times before, those emotions can get the best of anybody. And everybody deals with that differently. So a little bit of me is a little worried that maybe he'll come in there a little too wound up and have an adrenaline dump after a round or something. Or just come in there too aggressive and make a silly mistake. I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I don't think that'll happen, but it is a fear that I have. The other fear I have is that he looked like he struggled to make weight. He looked relieved when they said 155 today, and he did not look good. But, that's a hard cut, and he might bounce back from that. But 2 minor things that I'm a little worried about that I wasn't in my head before. Otherwise, I think Khabib should beat Gaethje. I think he should. The only question is, Gaethje he's got a good wrestling background. We haven't seen Khabib fight a top American wrestler, and I'm a little curious how that will play out. But if Khabib's able to have his way with him like he usually does, he'll win, and he might wear him out. He might grind him out. It might be a decision. I don't know. But I think in the end, Khabib's going to be a bit more of a beast. And fears put aside, I think he's going to win the fight. And I'm willing to be a bet eating something hot, maybe a Reaper or maybe a death shot. We'll see if the Reapers are still fresh by this point. But I'm willing to bet that on Khabib winning the fight tomorrow or today. I'm filming this the night before, obviously. So that's my pick for the fight for UFC 254. There's some other great fights on it, so if you're at all interested, watch the card. It won't disappoint you. And of course, if I have to do a punishment, it will have to be in 2 weeks, because next week I'm doing the most in-depth review I've ever done. So make sure you tune in for that one. All right, enough babbling. We've talked about the UFC. We've introduced my sauce. Let's give her a taste. Let's give her a shake. All right. So I haven't tasted this one at all. Like I said, the last time I did a sauce tasting, the instructions I found said to cook it and then let it sit for a couple weeks and let the flavors blend. Last year I did taste the sauce immediately after cooking, and it was really sweet from the tomatoes at first. But 2 weeks later, it was a very different taste. That had a pop to it, like a Coke. That was weird. I guess because I put it in there hot. But yeah, last year the flavor really changed on my sauce about 2 weeks later. The first tasting was very sweet. It was hot and sweet. And I didn't really taste the garlic. And then when I went back to it a couple weeks later, it was more garlicky. The sweetness toned right down, and there was more of a ghost pepper, smoky flavor there. All right, so this one's open. I didn't let you guys see how it looks. So this is the color of it here. There's some yellow peppers and chocolate peppers in here with just a couple of red ones. The color is very similar to my other sauces. I guess the tomatoes dominate mostly, but it does have a little bit of a different tone. But yeah, you can see that. It's nice looking. And like my other sauces, it's thick. So, I like a sauce that's got some thickness to it. You can put it on pizza, you can put it on burgers. It's not going to run off. It's not going to make a mess. It's going to stay where you put it. I think it's got a good consistency. So let's smell it. Okay. I smell I smell the peppers, actually. I mean, because there is a more pepper, I think there's a higher pepper count in this than the other ones. But, right away I smell the peppers and I smell garlic. But it's got a very peppery smell. That's probably because all those peppers have a similar profile, I think, and flavor, kind of. The Leviathan's sweet, but the Viper X and the Scorpion Moruga kind of have a similar peppery flavor. All right. So that's what I smell. So let's pour this. Let's hold this back so it doesn't fall in the way. And let's get this poured out. So you can see it's got some good movement to it. It's thick. And it comes out kind of like a runny turd, for those that have a sense of humor. And Ernie, I appreciate you saying that my last hot sauce kind of resembled baby poo. So right away when it comes closer, I can smell the peppers and the garlic. It's got a good blend, I gotta say. It smells similar on the spoon than to the way it smells in the bottle. Yeah, it's got a good blend. It's about 50-50 of pepper and garlic. I don't smell the onions or anything else. So there's a good look of it before I down it. All right, make sure you subscribe, share this out. Let's get this thing growing so you guys can get some free friggin' seeds. And make sure you watch UFC. Here we go. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that one's a bit thicker. It's hot. It's hotter than I thought it would be. It's all tongue burn. It's stabbing in the back and hot in the front. I don't taste the Leviathan too much. I do taste a lot of the Viper X and the Moruga. I can taste that, I think, too. Like I said, those two have a very similar taste, I think. and they blend well. So this has a different flavor than the Ghost one, and it has a different flavor than the Reaper one, where the Ghost and the Reaper tend to stand out as the star flavors. These don't have such distinct flavors. They blend more, and they have more of a blended like pepper flavor with garlic. It's good. It's not overwhelmingly hot. It was hot at first. It was like more instant heat. It felt like a 1.5 right away. Now it's mellowed out. It feels like a 1, maybe a 0.5 to a 1. It's kind of spread to the roof of my mouth. It's on my tongue, spreading around. It's not really on my lips, and it's not in my throat. But it's there. It's burning. It's not churning. It's just the coals are there. They're burning. But that is a good tasting sauce, I gotta say. As much as I think it's a wanker thing to review your own stuff, you guys asked for it before, specifically Greg over at Fire and Hole. And why not? I like doing honest things, and nothing more honest than tasting it the first time in front of the camera. Yeah, this is good. I can see this going on sandwiches. I can see this going in eggs. I can see this going on pizza, burgers. Anything you put hot sauce, this would work. It doesn't have that dominating flavor that a Reaper comes with, or the, not that a Ghost pepper is dominating in a bad way. Some people don't like the Reaper flavor. I like the Ghost flavor. But this has more just of a pepper flavor with heat and garlic. This would be a little more friendly to the non-chili head, but I think this would still be extremely hot for them. But it's good. And I'm salivating. I definitely want more of this because it tastes so good. So I have to say, I'm pretty damn proud of this. It's a good hot sauce, jam sauce. All right. Well, that's that. UFC is going to be starting, so I'm probably already ready to watch that while this is going to be posted. So I hope you guys tune in and will at least watch the free fights. And if you're at all interested in the card, make sure you check it out. And yes, that made me sweat. I think it'll be a great card. And like I said, I'm picking Khabib to win. If he loses, I'll do some kind of punishment. I don't think he'll lose. Make sure you subscribe. Check out last week's video. Check out this video here. And make sure you tune in next week to see the review for the surprise product that I'll reveal when the video is posted. Thanks for watching. Go Khabib.